Survivor Series 2025 just concluded, and we did get a few surprises like the return of Liv Morgan and I believe it's Austin Theory, right? Joining the Vision, which is exactly what we asked for, and that makes me happy. So why? Oh why am I left with the emotion of ay. Just feeling like, ay, man. Now, the PLE wasn't bad by any means. I want you to listen carefully and answer me this question. It's been a while since I watched wrestling, like over 10 days, I believe, which for me as a content creator is quite a lot. You know, I live, breathe, and shit wrestling. When WWE gets boring, I get this irrational fear that I'll start hating it, so I just take a break, you know? Let it breathe. Maybe the passion will be back. I try to mist if that makes any sense. With that being said, yes, when you don't consume that much repetitive WWE TV shows, it does feel a little more exciting watching the PLEs. Now look, my opinion is as worth as any other wrestling fan's opinion. Nothing. And with all of that being said, sure, I'm a little bored by wrestling, but it also kind of feels like this was the worst Triple H's Survivor Series. Am I wrong? Is it just me, or the event just kinda felt safe in a way? Even the War Games matches didn't feel creative anymore. It felt like let's do the greatest hits and leave, especially the women's match. Men's War Games match was still really solid. Also, I feel like 2 War Games matches might be a bit too much for the WWE. You know, I'm still confused about the concept. I don't know whether I like it or hate it. I think it's cool, the visual is definitely nice, but the idea of a countdown while the match is not even happening yet, and we all know who's coming out, I don't know how I feel about that. Kinda feels pointless in a way. I always felt like this match needed eliminations. What's also interesting is that they got rid of shark cages, which in a way, I understand. You know, gives us this illusion that anything might happen. Maybe something is happening backstage and somebody else is gonna come out. I like that idea, and obviously they did it because Brock didn't want to wait. Like, come on. But at the same time, wasn't this one of the most viral WWE moments of the year? All the interactions between Roman Reigns and CM Punk, so, I don't know how I feel about that. So let me know in the comments below, people. Am I tripping? Am I tripping, or was this Survivor Series kinda not bad, but the worst out of Triple H's Survivor Series? But first, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, Wrestling GM. How did you feel about John Cena's retirement tour? I know, mixed feelings. Well, luckily, Wrestling GM is the best wrestling booking simulator, so you can do it better. It's all about your imagination. Let your fantasy booking run wild, people. You can also pick any superstar you like and turn him into the next Stone Cold Steve Austin. What I like the most about Wrestling GM is that you can create your own universe. I'm talking wrestlers, companies, championships, even commentators and managers. You might be thinking, that's cool, but I want real wrestlers. No problem. In Wrestling GM, you can upload custom photos and avatars and recreate legitimate professional wrestlers you know. And obviously, once you have your show set up, what you do is compete against other in-game companies. Who gets the higher viewership and who puts on the best show for the fans? Wrestling GM is available on the App Store and the Google Play Store, and there's a download link in the description below along with my Let's Play series. They kicked off the show with the Women's War Games match. Asuka and Charlotte started the match, which was probably the right decision. Again, the issue I have is that until we get to the "it's War Games," it doesn't matter. The match is not even official yet, I guess. Look, I appreciate the match. Just allow people to get eliminated anytime. Then it was Io Sky. We got a bit of a botch. She got a custom lid. It said Io Sky, you know, but for a split second, I really thought WWE put a sponsor on a trash can lid. You know, shit like Popeyes. This dropkick to the lid is brought to you by Popeyes. It's a funny word to me because it also means boobs in Lithuanian language, kinda. Then we got Becky Lynch with a kendo stick. Cool exchange with Charlotte Flair. Then we got Alexa. I'm the only person who kinda misses the old theme song, you know, get up, shut up, and find me. It's kinda cringe. I'm fucking sorry. I'm sorry. She saved Charlotte Flair. We got a double natural selection. Just them working together, which is pretty nice. You know, this match was going pretty okay so far. We got Kairi Sane. Nasty hit with the lid to Io. Green chain double super kick spot. And then it was time for AJ Lee. Becky kept the door shut, but AJ just climbs it. Nice crossbody. And AJ did well in this match. You know, this was her second match in the WWE ever since she came back. And I think she's doing just fine. Obviously, you're going to get a lot of critics, aka marks. Who cares though? I think she did fine. And my opinion is the only opinion that matters. You know, there's only one man. Good. We got some horrible hits from Nia with that chain. Looked like a massage. Rhea Ripley comes out with a trash can and kendo, some tributes to horror movies, just throwing everybody around. Pretty sick trash can spot. But then, people, we got one of the cringiest, unfortunate moments of the event. Lash Legend makes her entrance. Let's see what I wrote. No pop, unfortunately. Could hear my heartbeat. Biggest sleepover? I just farted. That was loud. No pop whatsoever, which was kinda unfortunate, you know. It makes sense, don't exaggerate this shit. She's new in the WWE, you know. She's pretty new. She didn't really develop her character yet. It's understandable. It's just really unfortunate and cringy anyway when somebody comes out and nobody talks. You know, you could hear people coughing. And now the War Games begin! I'm wondering what's the point before it begins. I guess people coming out, beating up, and I don't know. I just wish you could get eliminated. I guess that's my biggest problem. Bring eliminations to War Games. So that's when it kinda got a bit more exciting. Io Sky with the same trash can spot, but a little bit different. That surprised me, but anyway, once I saw that WWE are about to do it again, I'm like, this is the greatest hits type of shit. You know, this is just safe. Let's do what worked 2-3 years in a row again. It was a little bit different, but at a point, I kinda cringed anyway. So they beat up Becky Lynch, she taps to AJ, and am I wrong, people, but this kinda felt a little underwhelming. Wasn't bad, but again, just the greatest hits, cheap pop, and the finish was just kinda there. I could be wrong, I feel like this was probably the worst women's War Games match we ever saw. Now, wasn't bad, but again, we compare shit. Comparison is the, you know, killer of joy. But we do that. I don't know, I watched this match and felt like it was just basic, choreographed, safe shit. That was it. Then we jump into Dominic versus John Cena. Dom coming out with girls was pretty cool. John Cena's emotional entrance saying last PLE to Stu. This was John Cena's last WWE PLE. And it's kind of crazy because I still don't feel that shit. You know, stuff like this hits me a little bit later. I don't know, I'll give you an example. A couple of days ago, I was at a 3 Days Grace concert in Lithuania, which is a dream come true for me, right? If you don't know the band, you probably know it from SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, Animal I Have Become, right? And this was a pretty big deal, but it's like, for me, it was like watching from a third-person perspective, and it only hit me like a couple of days later that, oh shit, it's kind of weird. It's hard to explain. That's how I feel with John Cena, you know. I know we only have, I guess, one match left, but at the same time, I still don't feel that shit. So this was Dom's hometown, but, you know, it's John Cena. Obviously, the majority of the people are going to support John Cena. The match is going fine until we got that Hurricanrana into powerbomb, and Dom hit his head or shoulder. This was worrying for a couple of reasons. Oh shit, Dominic just got injured, possibly concussed, and also one of John Cena's last matches ended like that. You know, for many reasons, a catastrophe. But I guess Dom was faking it? I don't know whether that was a work or a shoot, brother. It seems like that was exactly what was supposed to happen anyway. We got a 6-1 live frog splash, but the referee was upset. He didn't pin. That was kinda weird. Roxanne and Raquel got ejected. So this match just turned into absolute shenanigans. Cena knocks out the referee. We got the Judgment Day attacking John Cena, but he took care of him with a double AA. He was about to win against Dominic Mysterio. He asked for a referee, and Liv Morgan makes her return. Okay, so let's talk about that. The WWE kinda played us in a way. At first, she turned on Dominic Mysterio, jumped on John Cena. I thought they were about to kiss. We saw so many of these spots. This is AJ Lee's gimmick. She made out with Kane. I remember as a kid, man, that traumatized me. That traumatized me. Whatever. But of course, she turns on John Cena, and Dominic Mysterio wins the Intercontinental Championship. She is back with Dominic Mysterio, which is not exactly how I thought this is going to end. So first of all, Dominic is your new Intercontinental Champion. Kind of been there, done that. What's the point if the championship title reign is restarting? It's not gonna be as special anymore once eventually somebody beats Dominic Mysterio, so that's kind of unfortunate. When it comes to Liv Morgan, I thought she's gonna come back and immediately turn on Dominic Mysterio, but I guess Dom wasn't necessarily, excuse me for my language, excuse me, fucking. He wasn't fucking, he wasn't smashing. You know, we didn't see that on television. We didn't see that. So we don't really have this storyline of Dominic Mysterio cheating on Liv Morgan. They were kind of insinuating that he is, but he never did. So now we just gotta wait and see the rivalry between Roxanne and Liv Morgan. At first, it's going to be a personal rivalry, fighting for Dominic's attention, which is something every female wrestler in the WWE does already. And then, Dominic will have to choose. Eventually, Liv Morgan is going to be the one who's turning babyface. I feel like that's gonna happen. I know some people are probably mad that John Cena lost, but that was my prediction in the first place because, look, you have 3 John Cena's matches left. Dominic, and then it's Dominic again. So, why would you give him Dominic Mysterio twice? The only reason you would give him Dominic Mysterio is because you want Dominic to win the championship. So that was pretty obvious, but at least WWE did something pretty cool. Liv Morgan came back, big pop. Still a little bit surprised she's not back as a babyface, at least yet. Then we got Stephanie Vaquero versus Nikki Bella, the least exciting match of the show, let's be honest. I saw a lot of people leaving to take a piss shit or something, which is always so unfortunate, But if you're gonna pick a match, you gotta pick this one. You gotta pick this one. Now, look, it was okay. It was fine. It was just Stephanie Vaquero doing some cool-ass shit, You could put her in a match against anybody. You're going to see some cool-ass shit. Now, people, if I was younger, if I was 12, I would lose my mind over this table Demon's Kiss spot. Oh my god, that premium live event would be paused. It would be paused, and I would, participate in other activities. People. The match was fine, I guess, and Nikki Bella is getting better. I mean, we did feel the ring rust at first. Stephanie Vaquero retains the championship, which was pretty expected, and at this point, I'm not so sure what Nikki Bella is going to do in the WWE. I look at wrestlers like Nikki Bella, I feel like she should probably elevate the mid-card championship, probably the United States championship at some point, or create a faction. She could be kind of a leader. And that was time for the men's War Games match. It was Punk versus Braun Breaker, which is pretty cool. Braun Breaker was possibly the MVP of this match. He was moving like crazy. Then it was Drew McIntyre. I guess it couldn't get any worse for CM Punk. Until we got Cody, 2 world champions in the ring right now. Crossbody off the cage. Accidentally hits Punk, which was a hilarious spot. Looked like something straight out of WWE 2K25. But, it showed how smart babyfaces can be because they still work together and understood that, this was a mistake. We got a nasty breaker bump though. A lot of botches, man. A lot of botches. And I'm not saying this as an insult. I'm just saying it looked worrying because it just so happens to be that every botch was them landing on their fucking head. Then we got Logan Paul with an NWO inspired attire, which kind of suits him in a way. If I didn't know anything about wrestling, anything about these wrestler celebrities, you could probably fool me that Hulk Hogan and Logan Paul are related in a way. You could probably fool me. So we got some chairs now. Drew McIntyre and Logan teaming up was pretty cool. We got Jimmy with the table, but that's when the heels started dominating the entire match. Got Bronson Reed. He hits everybody with a tsunami. We got Jey Uso. Now, Jey Uso wasn't necessarily in a rush, but I was still shocked, people. I was shocked he didn't yeet. He didn't do the Jeff Hardy shit when Matt Hardy is bleeding. He's about to die. He's last breath. And his brother is like, he didn't do that shit. I was surprised. So he takes care of him. He teams up with Jimmy. We got some cool spots. Oh, and then he yeeted. Music and all. God, I hate wrestling sometimes. But Lesnar saves the day, people. Crazy statistic, but Lesnar didn't team up with anyone for like ages. He looked great in that cage, by the way, like an actual animal. F5s to everyone, and then we got Roman Reigns. So Lesnar was waiting. There was this new rule. If somebody leaves the ring, you forfeit. You lose the match, the entire team. But since the match didn't officially start, Lesnar could leave. So we got this brawl between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. We got an F5 through the table. And now the War Games begin. And again, once the match actually begins, it starts getting exciting. You got a lot of fast-paced action, and I was enjoying myself. I liked Roman Reigns stealing Logan's brass knuckles and hitting people with some Superman punches. That was pretty cool. Spear through the table, sacrificing Jay. GTS to Logan, and a masked man appears. Curb stomp to Punk. Spear to Punk by Braun Breaker, and heels win the match. Then the show ends with Roman Reigns and Punk fist bumping. Cody and Reigns didn't do the same though. And Roman says this was the last time we will ever team up. Just know that. So WWE tried to fool us. Oh, is it Seth Rollins? Obviously, it's not. It's impossible. Logically, if it was actually Seth Rollins, why would they even put a mask on the dude and still do the curb stomp? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I feel like it's Austin Theory. From the way he moved, like, he was quick. Like, the dude was buff. He moved really quickly. It must be Austin Theory. He also had a similar physique. It's kind of weird that WWE didn't do the reveal. I feel like a lot more people would be happy, but at the same time, I have mixed feelings because it was a cliffhanger. Even though we kind of know it was probably Austin Theory, now I'm excited for Monday Night Raw to actually see it being revealed. Or maybe he's gonna come out again, or maybe we're not gonna see him for a couple of months, a month, a couple of weeks, I don't know. Maybe then he's going to come back. If Austin Theory is a legitimate new member of the Vision, I am very happy. It also gives us a question. How does the faction look right now? So right now we have Braun Breaker, we have Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, I guess, and is Logan Paul a part of this team? That's pretty interesting. Is he officially a part of this team? Because I believe he's not necessarily. He was just part of this team, right? And that was your WWE Survivor Series 2025. How did you feel about this premium live event? I don't think it was bad by any means. It just felt too safe. Like, everything was kinda expected anyway. Everything that happened in War Games was pretty much seen before. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, appreciate your support, appreciate your love, people. The Great One, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.